idea what you're about to say.
She took my mom's dog over there to play with his dog. And I guess he started rolling a blunt. And he got my grandmother high.
Mimi! Shout out me.
So when she said I'm never smoking again.
She meant the cigarettes.
She did not mean the cigarettes.
She's still going to be smoking.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't know if it was just like really good weed because I haven't smoked in a long time, or if it was the 2 shots of Woodford. And I was like, what? Welcome back into the Who Told You to Say That podcast. I am Chrissy Banta.
I'm Anna Tarullo.
And it has been a while.
I was just going to say that. It's been a minute since we potted. Since we potted out.
Yeah. A lot has happened.
A lot has happened.
A lot's been going on in our lives, in the sports world, in the world in general.
It wasn't even football season yet last time, right? Maybe it was week 0, I want to say.
I think we were around week 0, week 1, because I feel like we previewed some week 2 stuff. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, we were early. We have a lot more data to go on for football now.
Yeah, I feel like a whole different person. I feel like 1,000 years older. We know so much more about ourselves than others and coaches and teams and
it's crazy.
You name it.
What's been going on?
Not a whole lot. You know, just enjoying some football. I would say mainly have no big crazy updates, but I feel like you do in terms of vocabulary for your child.
Yeah, Amelia's cussing now.
Which I love. It's my favorite thing.
She is. So
it's my hope and dream for her.
And it's like, at first it was like a cute toddler cuss where they're like learning new language. So what happened is my grandmother's dog bit her.
Very traumatic.
Which was a big deal. Like, it wasn't like a nip. It was an actual bite. So it was a big deal. But my grandmother panics in any situation. So when the dog bit her, she automatically started going, damn it, dog. Damn it, dog. Oh. So Amelia, now her new favorite phrase is damn it.
Oh. And so she learned it from your grandmother.
She did. Yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
My grandmother is full of good stories, actually. So that's
shout out Mimi.
Yeah, that's been her new phrase lately. Mm-hmm. And she knows how to properly use it now.
That's what's scary. They catch on so quick.
She's so smart. And like, she'll get frustrated and she'll be like, damn it.
Are you a little bit proud when she does that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I would be too.
And it's kind of, Jeremy gets so mad because like, he tries to reprimand her and be the disciplinary.
But you're over there laughing.
Me and his mom are over there like laughing on the couch.
She's a woman now. She's a grown girl.
Yeah. She dropped her first F-bomb last night too.
Oh, okay. So y'all aren't playing around.
No.
Now, did that one scare you a little bit more though?
A little bit. We don't know where she got that one from.
Okay. Sketchy.
I immediately called my mom.
Said, ma'am.
And I was like, listen.
She's been saying around my children.
This was probably you all.
Shift the blame. I love it.
Yeah. So then this was yesterday. So I go over there this morning ready to be like hard on them and like, okay, Amelia's here now. Like, you guys need to really watch your language around her. Uh-huh. So everybody's waking up. I'm working from their house. Everybody's waking up. My mom walks in. I brought Amelia with me. My grandmother, my Mimi walks in. They're like still tired. She goes and pours a cup of coffee. She sits down next to me on the couch. And she smoked cigarettes like my whole life. Mm-hmm. She sits down next to me on the couch and she goes, I'm never smoking again. And I'm like, well, what's wrong? Like, what's going on? I was like, what's, triggering you to want to quit this time?
Make this change.
Yeah. And she had a knee replacement last year and like she quit smoking for a long time. And I was really proud of her. Well, then she got bored one day and decided she was going to do it again. So I was like, okay, well, we can do this. What's going on? She was like, no. I went to Max's last night, who's her neighbor, and he's our age.
Yeah.
Super cool dude. I
have no idea what you're about to say.
She took my mom's dog over there to play with his dog. And I guess he started rolling a blunt. And he got my grandmother high.
Mimi! Shout out me.
So when she said I'm never smoking again.
She meant the cigarettes.
She did not mean the cigarettes.
She's still going to be smoking.
Yeah. And she's like, I don't know if it was just like really good weed because I haven't smoked in a long time or if it was the 2 shots of Woodford. And I was like, what?
Your grandma party's harder than you.
I was like, it was a Wednesday night. What were you doing? Partying with Bosch? Like, what are you doing?
Were you at Heights Point Lounge with the Who Told You to Say That podcast
Were you at the HPL?
What song did you do karaoke to, Grandma? family tradition. Which one?
Did you see Brian B. Hall in the corner?
Brian B. Hall in the corner.
Brian B. Hall.
You've not been to HPL with us.
No.
By the way, sponsor us, HPL.
Yeah.
Maybe we should bring your grandma there. Mimi. I'm trying to imagine my grandma doing anything.
Okay,
I think hers was like missing
same.
mass.
Both of my grandmothers went on vacation with me about 10 years ago. We went to a cruise. We were in Cozumel, and we couldn't find them. It's like 20 minutes until you have to get back on the boat or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
My family's like, my parents were never together, but my family's intermingle very well. So my cousin and I were like, we can't find them. Like, they went off by themselves. Can't find them. It's like 20 minutes. They're going to close the doors. We're like, well,
and it wasn't like your normal silver alert. It was
like, I don't know what to do here. So we're panicking in the room. And a few minutes later, we hear them giggling coming down the hallway. Well, they open the door and we're like, where have you all been?
Yeah.
They almost got arrested for buying pot from a cab driver in Mexico. I'm like, this is ridiculous.
You cannot take your grandma anywhere.
No, I really can't. So I just need you all to know, if she ever does make an appearance at Hikes Point Lounge with the gang, I can't promise that like things are gonna go well.
Yeah. She might be smiling and laughing a lot. Might need some.
And this is my Italian grandmother, so like she's well versed in drinking.
Yeah,
like,
I love that. I love that, man. My grandma. Yeah, I think the wildest thing my grandma ever did was Miss Church.
Made me and Amelia pancakes.
Of course she did. She's a woman who does it all.
I know.
Oh man, so lots of new updates in your house then. Yeah. Crazy grandma stuff going on. Yeah. Miss Amelia cussing up a storm.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
It's good. I think that would be a proud moment as a parent for me. My child cusses.
I mean, it kind of was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like she's growing into it. I was really proud that she knew how to properly use it.
Yeah, I think that says a lot.
Yeah, like you can't just go around saying it. Mm-mm. But now she'll be like, "Damn it," and then she'll look at you and she'll go, "Oh, that's a bad word."
When they know it's bad,
then she'll go, "Darn it,"
and she's 2. I'm scared of her. Yeah, you don't want the kid.
I'm terrified of her.
You don't want the kid in middle school who's like trying to cuss for the first time and they're doing it wrong. It's like, come on. Yeah. Man. We've been doing this since toddlers, okay, at our house. Yeah. My mom and my family, my mom is the person who taught every single child how to cuss, not on purpose. Just driving the car with her one time. Every single child she babysat. I mean, not just our family, cousins. She used to watch all the cousins and she'd send them home and then I'll be like, shit, damn it. Shout out, no FCC violations. Love that. And so all from my mom. So if she ever tried to get on me to be ladylike, I'm like, girl, come on. So got it from you.
Well, was it your mom that taught Amelia how to cuss then?
It could have been. I was like, she was over recently.
They were hanging out together.
I was like, where'd she learn that? Where'd you see that?
Yeah. Because they were over.
They were.
We were in the pool.
There was some unsupervised time with my mom. So you got to watch her. Bad habits, man.
We're going to have to see.
She'll probably learn how to clean really well and say a bad word or two. Yeah. She hangs out around Nina.
Really quick, we want to give a shout out to our friends at Rates Fence Company, Louisville's premier fence installation and access control company. Visit them at ratesfencecompany.com to schedule a free quote today.
Let's do it. Let's get it. Oh, look, it did another thumbs up. I wonder if that'll show.
It's always you. It's never me.
I'm telling you, they're tracking me.
Because sometimes I'll be like, tracking you?
Well, come on.
My phone is probably like, don't put her on here. We check our text messages.
Yeah, I'd be like, not loving this.
We check our notifications.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No comment.
Lots happened in the last month.
Some WNBA we're going to talk about.
Yes. So we were toward the end of the regular season. Last time we did this. We are well into the playoffs now. We're in the semis. Liberty are up 2-0 over the Aces after a crazy 88-84 win last night. That game got pretty wild. Sabrina Ionescu led the team with 24 points last night. And I will tell you, I thought the Aces had that game in the bag until that horrible turnover toward the end. And they just pretty much gift wrapped a win for the Liberty after that.
They fumbled. Yeah. I love the Aces so much. I think they're my favorite team because they're hilarious. Sydney Colson is my favorite WNBA player. I could just watch her talk about the sky being blue. Yeah. She's hysterical. I love their whole vibe. Of course, just watching Asia Wilson in her season. she's having in her relationship off the court. I love when
yeah.
it is alluded to. But yeah, so
alluded to, but not confirmed.
Just, a quaint little use of an apostrophe here and there to spill the beans, to soft launch that relationship. So, okay, I didn't watch last night. So what game was that in the playoffs?
That was the
in that series?
semis. Yeah.
Okay.
Second, it was game 2.
And they only do
it's game 2.
They do 5-game series. Yeah. So it's game 2.
Yeah. So
so it's tied 1-1.
No, 2-0.
2-0. Okay.
Yeah. So now we're looking at a potential Aces elimination game.
That would be huge.
It would be huge. And to me, it would be shocking. Yeah. I did want to revisit our picks for the finals. I think I had the Aces winning. I don't remember for sure.
Yeah.
But it would be shocking to see the Aces get swept in this series.
Truly, and it just makes you wonder too, with A'ja Wilson in the season she's been having, already broken so many records. Yeah. I wouldn't think she would lose focus, because it didn't seem like, the records meant that much to her, but maybe it was like once that happened, she took a little bit of a breath, and it's
maybe. I mean, she had 24 points last night.
Locked in. Yeah, it's not her. Yeah. Okay, so who else? Who's on the other side of the bracket?
So on the other side, we've got the Sun and the Lynx. They're tied 1-1. The Lynx took game 2 last night, 77-70. Alyssa Thomas was the leading scorer for the Sun. She had 18 points. And Courtney Williams led Lynx with 17 points.
All right.
So that's your other side of the bracket. Personally, your champion's coming out of the it's going to be Liberty Aces for sure. And I think everybody's known that.
For sure.
That's not.
Yeah. So when they play again, when's the next game?
Yeah. So we've got game 3 for Liberty and the Aces is going to be on ESPN2. They go back to Vegas Friday. That's going to be at 9:30. And the Sun and the Lynx will play prior to that at 7:30 on ESPN2. So you'll have those games back to back.
Let's go. I think Aces are going to pull it together.
I think so. I would be really surprised if they didn't.
Oh, man.
I would be surprised.
I think they will.
I think they're going to have home court advantage for game 3.
Becky's going to get them together. This. Becky Hammond's going to get them together.
For sure.
And
I mean, also in WNBA, we got a little expansion news. Yeah, Golden State Valkyries will be the first expansion draft in 16 years.
As a Sacred Heart Valkyrie,
I was going to say you're a Valkyrie.
The mascot means a strong woman of great faith, and I just love it's the Warriors and the Valkyries. Same kind of theme there. Is that the only expansion team they're doing? Houston?
There will be 2 more expansion teams 2025. So
2025,
next year.
How about that?
But those are going to be a little bit different. So this is a draft expansion. The last time we had a draft expansion was actually Atlanta in 2008.
The Dream.
Yeah.
Wow, that was only 2008.
Only.
That's I just thought,
16 years.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah. So Golden State will begin play. Yeah. Golden State will begin play next season.
Okay.
And the league has put out their guidelines on essentially how this team is going to be
This is interesting.
Put together. It is interesting. So every other team in the WNBA will be allowed to protect up to 6 players. They will not be available for selection by Golden State. So these teams are going to have to decide which 6 players they're going to protect from being taken.
Yeah.
Where they're going to run into issues is free agency. You're going to have to look at contract ending and things like that. And do you need to protect that player from being taken and going to Golden State? And then as far as Golden State's concerned, they're only going to be allowed to select 1 player from each team.
Okay.
And then they'll be able to select players in the draft as well.
Okay. So the 6 protected players, that's from
the other teams in the league.
Just in general.
So every team that's in the league currently gets 6 players on a list that they get to protect.
Yeah.
Those players cannot be selected by Golden State.
That MySpace top 6.
Yeah, exactly. So if you've got a free agent on your team and you choose not to add them to that list of 6 players, they're fair game for Golden State.
Yeah.
Like, they just are.
Man.
It's going to be wild. I'll be interested to see how it plays out. So when Atlanta got added into draft expansion in 2008, they ended up getting, I think they were the 4th pick.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure they were the 4th pick that year in the draft. So it hasn't been announced where Golden State's going to land in draft order.
Yeah.
But I'll be really interested to see how it plays out because you've got a lot of people graduating this year that have a lot of talent.
Oh, yeah. I mean, college talent and high school talent, it's only the pool is just increasing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, good time to expand. I think good time to expand as well with a lot more eyes on the league now, right?
Definitely, yeah. I think there was some disappointment locally with expansion news coming out and Louisville not really being considered for expansion.
At all.
I think that's an interesting conversation here specifically. For many reasons. We do have, regardless of what people want to say, we do have a professional league here in the city.
Yeah, a lot of
professional
teams, yeah.
Yeah, and that's the highest level of soccer that you're talking about for women there. So we do have a professional team, and they've done very well here, and people support them. And not just them because they're a professional team, but women's athletics in general in this area are very supported.
Yes.
So I think a lot of people thought we would be considered a little bit more when it came to WNBA expansion.
Yeah.
I do personally think, and I might be a little bit biased, but I do think if Louisville ever does get a professional basketball team, it will be a women's team.
Yeah.
I really do believe that.
I think that's a really great point. And you've got to think that some of that culture starts at Louisville and how they put on for their basketball team and volleyball team. And they've been two of the most consistent teams recently. And and people just put on for them. And I think that's a part of that. A lot of it is the culture that Jeff Walz has built.
100%. Yeah. I mean, you can directly link that to Jeff Walz and Danny Busman-Kelly and Stephanie Norman and, the culture they've built here and the support that they've helped build. Jeff does make it a point to support every other program. And I think because he's always done that, it's just who he is. People make it a point to come support him.
Yes. I think building a culture was really big for him.
It was huge.
And his longevity here
and that's on top of the product he's putting on the court consistently. I mean, consistent tournament appearances.
Final Four contender.
Every year. Every year.
And I think
they're never excluded from that conversation.
Yep. And it's been amazing to see, too, even just speaking of support for women's sports, volleyball here. They're having the Final Four here for women's volleyball to start the season here, having top teams. It's about time. Because I think Louisville as a market doesn't get as much recognition for these big time events, but it's slowly starting to through women's sports because we don't have the men's pro teams, right?
Right.
But I think it has become such a hub of volleyball, which was way overdue, that we could maybe start seeing the same thing with basketball, especially with all the talent in this region right now. Leah Macy, Zakiya Johnson. So many great recruits and talent coming out of this area. Grace Berger, who plays for the Fever, a Sacred Heart girl.
Yeah.
And, I know the Fever's close, so maybe that went into it too. They said maybe we'll try to get a team in another area that could be part of it. But, I think it's taken them a while to catch on to the volleyball here, that it's a great market for
People are into it now. Louisville has had a waiting list for season tickets for 2 years now, which is amazing. Danny has grown that program so much. They have outgrown L&N.
And go check out her interview with Danny Busman-Kelly.
Yes, that was great. That's on a prior episode. We did sit down and talk with Danny about having the early season games here and all the big games here. I mean, have you seen how many people have been packing the Yum Center for these Sunday games?
And the TV ratings they're getting too.
It's been insane.
Huge. I think, what was the Stanford game was the most watched women's volleyball game, I think, to date, maybe.
Yeah.
It was something record-breaking, something historic, but that's awesome. And I'm just glad people are finally tuned into that.
I think Louisville would be a perfect spot for expansion. You look at Golden State, they already have more than 17,500 season ticket deposits.
Wow.
They don't even have players on their team yet.
That's crazy.
And they have 17,000 plus season ticket deposits. Like, you take that and then put it in a town like this, you're going to do pretty dang well.
Can you imagine? Merch would be going crazy already. I'd be fitted out in some WNBA gear.
For sure.
Dude, that would be so fun. Come on, let's petition the league. Next expansion. Think of us. Think of us here. I think it'd be big here.
Don't forget about us.
Come on, Mariah. We need some Mariah. Yo, we're in a weird mood today. Let's just be completely transparent. We're trying our best. We're hanging on for dear life.
We're doing our best.
We're doing good. But you know why we're doing even better? Because of our friends at Alani Nu and Prime, keeping us hydrated and also energized without the jitters. So special shout out to them.
I live on Alani Nu.
You do. And you were telling me the supplements, everything.
Yeah. I use their pre-workout regularly.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know they made it until right now.
They do. Yeah. I mean, they do greens, pre-workout, BCAAs. They've got it all.
What's that?
BCAAs.
I don't know anything.
It helps with hydration.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of similar to drinking.
Like electrolytes?
These probably have it in there too, if I sat here and read it all. But yeah, it's workout supplements. They do it all. They do protein bars. They do protein. They have.
I've seen the protein bars in like the gummies, and I'm always like, do these give you energy? But they don't.
No, they don't. They're just low sugar.
How great would that be?
But
they're
like
edible
really
for energy. I was like, taking this.
An edible for energy.
I just start like running around the office. I know. I saw them somewhere, or one of my friends had them, and I was like, if I eat these, it's gonna be great. They're like, dude, it doesn't do anything. It's just but still great.
It's just candy.
Still good. Hey.
No, they're delicious. But yeah, I mean, I use their pre-workout every day.
Mm-hmm.
I have Tropsicle at home right now, which is like a pineapple-y, coconutty flavor.
Like a cruise experience.
Yeah. So I use their pre-workout every day. I'm usually like pre-workout at about 4:30 in the morning. When I get up at 4:10, I'm leaving the house around 4:30, 4:45 for the gym. So pre-workout, coffee, and then I'll have like just an Alani drink at like 11 or 11:30.
And is that when you cut off the caffeine? Y'all would not want to be. Think about if I had that much.
Stop asking so many personal
questions.
Tell
me about your deepest insecurities, your deepest caffeine consumption. If I had that much caffeine, you wouldn't want to be within the same zip code as me. I'd be like, Marley get where he's like.
Well, here's the thing. I get up at 4 and I go to the gym, and then I have to work all day.
She's CrossFit queen.
And then I have to parent a toddler.
Who cusses.
And
she's gonna cuss at you
I
if you're
also,
not ready.
Have a 36-year-old child living in my house.
Yeah.
Your husband. Just a husband. But seriously, so I have to parent too, and like then get ready for the next day. So like your girl is tired.
She gotta be caffeined out, baby.
So Alani Nu saves me.
It does.
And I don't get the jitters. I feel good, and it tastes yummy. And
That's
that
important.
Witch's Brew is out now.
Witch's Brew, I do love that one. Very good.
Can I tell you, last year at the Notre Dame game, I was mixing Witch's Brew Alani with Four Roses bourbon.
Now that is not the
it was not good.
What do they call that at the doctor, like for the prescribed uses? Like that's not. Come on, what's the word?
I don't know.
Okay, well,
what I do know is I didn't make it into the Notre Dame game.
Yeah, so that's an endorsement in and of it. If you want to have a good time,
it was a good time. It was a good time. Speaking of football, we have our Women in Sports feature this week. We are going to highlight Sarah Thomas.
Now tell me, was this the girl who was the kicker at No, different Sarah.
Different Sarah.
That was Sarah Fuller, maybe.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No. Sarah Thomas is currently in her 10th season as an NFL referee. And she was the first female referee in the NFL.
That had to be daunting.
How intimidating is that?
It must be very.
And what I mean by that is how intimidating must have been to other people for like stepping into that role and being like, no, I got this. Like I can do this. Yeah, she started officiating high school football in 1999 and in 2006 went to an officials camp. And from there, in 2007, was the first woman to officiate a major college football game.
Ooh.
And I'll give you a high five if you can guess which game it was.
It was what year?
2007.
Oh. What? Okay. Like, guess the teams in it?
Yeah.
Okay. Can I narrow it down to conference? Can I do like a Big Ten, SEC? Is Alabama involved?
No.
A Kentucky game? Louisville game?
No.
I need hints.
Well, you could also look at your notes right there on your phone.
Okay, hold on.
No, it was Memphis and Jacksonville State.
That was going to be my third guess.
Probably.
I was like, that was going to be Memphis, and then you cut me off, so I didn't get to say that.
And by 2009, she was one of 5 women officiating collegiate games, and the first to officiate a bowl game.
The first to
So
officiate a bowl
she was
game.
doing big things, and she was doing it quick, because you're talking about she started officiating high school in 99, and by 2009, she was officiating bowl games at the collegiate level.
I feel like you would be a good ref.
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like you'd be on it. You'd know the rules.
I get distracted, so I would know the rules.
You would.
And I do know
You could be
the
like
rules,
the ref they go up to in the booth.
But
like,
I get
offsides.
distracted so easily, so I'd be on the sideline and be
Actually,
like, what is that guy doing over there?
I think I would be like a good one on the field. Like I would be locked in.
You think so?
I'm like good in moments like where you have to lock in.
Yeah.
You know?
I would not be.
Yeah, I feel like I could be kind of good. Like I can zero in when there's a
We
lot
should try
going
it one
on.
time.
Let's try. Let's go to officiating camp. We could be roommates.
Maybe we could just go to like U of L's practice or something.
Yeah, just Jeff Brown,
Like,
just let us try.
Jeff, can we just we have a podcast.
Jeff, that was a false start. Let me get out of here.
There's 12 guys on the field.
I think. Flag.
Haunt people forever. Yes. So after she officiated the bowl game, she went on to officiate several UFL games. Prior to making her regular season debut as a line judge for Kansas City and Houston.
That's awesome. So she was the first female NFL ref. Is still the only or no?
No.
Let's
I think
go.
there are 5 to 10 now. There's several now. Yeah.
Awesome.
She started a thing.
I would be so interested to know the feedback she gets after calls, how it compares to the male referees. Is it? I could see it even being less harsh because I
have a feeling that between Brian Hall and Nick Valvano, they know someone that knows her.
Oh, guarantee. Let's get her on.
I'm sure we could find a phone number.
Yeah.
After the football season's over to have a chat with her.
We gotta ask her.
Yeah. So you're talking first woman to referee at the collegiate level. First to ref in a bowl game.
Wow.
Several UFL games. First in the NFL. And also, she didn't stop there. She wasn't done. She said no. She said, this is good, but I got bigger dreams. I got bigger goals. Also, the first woman to officiate a Super Bowl.
What? Which one was that?
55 in 2021.
55. Yep. Good for her. That would be so nerve-wracking. Just being a referee in general, but knowing that you are the standard of my performance is going to decide if people think that women can do this or not. It's going to be a critique on my whole gender.
There's a lot of pressure. And like she obviously went out there, did her job very, very well, and has really opened the floodgates for all these other women to be like, yes, I can go do that too. Yeah, I think we're up to 5 or 10 now.
That's awesome. Yeah. She must be very respected to, be able to walk through those doors and get them open herself. That's great. Go, Sarah. That's our lady today.
It's my kind of woman.
Come on. We love it. I feel like you would be a good referee. I feel like you would like it.
I get distracted too easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe if my doctor would put me on Adderall or something.
Yeah. You never know.
I wouldn't. But like the way I am right now.
Yeah.
No.
You would just get like lost in a thought. It's like that Barbie gif where she's like, do you guys ever think about dying? That's like you in the middle of like a 4th and
No, but really. Like touchdown. Do you remember Touchdown Squirrel? Brian and Bosch remember Touchdown Squirrel. That would have ended me that day.
Oh.
Like it would have. Me and that squirrel, R.I.P.
R.I.P. R.I.P. in peace, squirrel. Okay, but more football to talk.
Yes.
How are you feeling about this Louisville team? I know it's been an interesting start to the season. Not bad, but you have your 2 easier opponents. You got your bye week. Georgia Tech, you win. Notre Dame, lose that game. And I think this team's interesting because the defense was supposed to be the identity, the real thing, right? And there were some struggles. That wasn't necessarily a clean game against Notre Dame. How are you specifically feeling about this team right now? And is it what you expected to feel at this point? How's your review of the team? How's it changed your expectations since the beginning of the season to now?
I really don't think my expectations have changed that much.
Really?
Prior to the season, I had Notre Dame as a loss on our schedule.
Okay.
It was one of the losses I had marked down for this team. So I'm not too surprised. I'm not feeling too differently than I was prior to the season. I didn't expect them to go into SMU undefeated.
Yeah?
I just didn't.
Yeah. And okay, so what are your expectations for SMU?
I do think they'll bounce back. I think you'll see a win come out of this weekend. Last weekend, I mean, it was a lot of stupid turnovers, and I know people have talked about some questionable play calling. Here's the thing. I've seen so many people, and I may get on a small soapbox about this.
Get on it.
Blame the officiating. Now, let me be the very first to say,
get on them.
Officiating, not great, not the best. Could have done better. The officials didn't lose that game for Louisville. Louisville lost that game for Louisville with their turnovers and with their questionable decision making. They lost that game. The officials did not lose that game. Louisville had many chances to get themselves together and pull together enough points for a win. They didn't do it. And Notre Dame's not an easy place to play. I mean, it's football country up there.
Oh, yeah.
So, no, I'm not too surprised at the loss. It was disappointing. So, I mean, you never want to see your team lose. It's disappointing. Wanted them to win. Wanted them to get the road win for sure, especially after the way they beat Notre Dame last year. But overall expectations, they haven't changed too much for me. I think they're going to come home this weekend. I think they're going to get a good win over SMU. I think they're going to rebuild that confidence and work on the small mistakes that they needed to fix over this week.
Just clean it up. Yeah.
Clean it up.
I think we'll get to Kentucky in a minute, but I think my expectations a bit for the Kentucky-Louisville game this season have changed after watching last season.
So you want to talk about that game specifically?
Or just anything, yeah.
Because that game specifically, my expectations have changed.
Okay, yeah. Okay, tell me. I wonder if we're on the same page.
Kentucky's defense is really
good. Yeah, it is, baby. Brad White for life. He's back.
I know.
We thought he left last year. Come on.
It makes me sick
Brad
to
White.
say it. But let me tell you, I went.
Brad White money dance.
I went to the UK Georgia game. I was there.
She was there.
I was there. I was in Lexington.
I was there. Kind of there.
You were.
I mean, I was tailgating.
I
didn't go to the game because I was boycotting.
So, well, my brother is a season ticket holder. He's a Kentucky fan.
That's right.
And his wife was going back to work from maternity leave that Monday. She wanted to stay home that weekend. She was tired. So
let me do you a favor and take your ticket.
Yeah.
To what you thought would be a massacre.
I did.
I did too.
I did. So I was like, hell yeah, I'll go. That sounds like a good
Watch
time.
a murder live.
Yeah. You want to see a dead body? That's what I was ready for. That's not what I got. That's not what I got.
You got the resurrection, baby.
Man.
Come on. What were your thoughts? Because we were talking during the game or before. I think you were like, I got thoughts on this. And
I think I texted you during the game.
The tailgating experience was not what it normally is.
Okay, let me tell you, the tailgating experience, not good.
But that game was so different. I have to tell you, it's not normally like that.
And I will give them a leeway for that. But on the flip side of that, I'm also very used to tailgating here at Louisville.
Yeah.
And I usually start at Collision Course and then go down to the ESPN tailgate. And both of those are really good tailgates. Like Collision Course does it up right. Like they have a whole box trailer with TVs in it, and they have 2 bars, a DJ. Like it's a whole thing. And it's a really good tailgate. And so my expectations are just naturally really high for tailgating.
Yeah.
So I went down there. It was fine. Like I had a good time. We met some friends. My brother and I met some friends down there. At like one of their friends' families' tailgates. And like it was good. Like we had a good time hanging out, talking before the game. Had a couple drinks. But overall, like as far as SEC tailgating goes,
I gotta tell you, it was the worst one. Like
it wasn't good, Anna.
There have been little like an Ohio game that has been better.
Wasn't good
than that. And this is my last job in Lexington. I used to even do this segment called Tailgates with Tarullo. So I would go every weekend and was around every single weekend.
Hold on. It's so funny you say that because did you know when I very first started with the Crunch Zone, LJ and I had a tailgate series that we did. We went around to all the U of L tailgates.
We have the same roots. Meant to be together. As Potos. But that was the worst one ever. I gotta hold my mic because I'm.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Okay.
That's so cute of us.
Love it.
How quirky of us.
But that was the worst tailgate of all time, and it made me so freaking mad because I'm like, if you all would have taken care of business,
it wasn't good.
Even a little bit, the whole place would have been in here for number 1. They would have been ready to go for number 1. It was the worst tailgate.
I know you can credit a lot of it to the loss the week before.
I think people are just mad.
I saw your picture of the main. I don't know which parking lot.
And it eventually filled up, though.
It did eventually fill up. But when I saw your picture, I was on my way to Lexington, and I was like, that does not look promising.
No, it was not.
But
it was depressing. Everyone was sad and quiet.
And the tailgate wasn't good, but the stadium was packed.
I know. I don't understand it. I think people were like, we got to go. We sold out the season tickets, I guess.
So
we can look at the light show if everything else
based
sucks.
on tailgate numbers, I did not expect.
Nor did I.
The experience that I got.
So you still liked it once you were inside?
Okay, like is a strong term.
She loved it, is what she was trying to say.
No.
Indoors. She's a Kentucky fan now. She didn't want me to tell you.
That's disgusting. I'm not a Kentucky fan now. But there were a few things they did right.
Tell me more.
The light show is so cool.
See, I haven't even seen it yet.
It's pretty cool.
Is it?
It's pretty cool.
I feel like it'd be relaxing too because it's blue, you know?
I want one.
Come on. Jeremy, put it in the house.
No, I want one for your little
okay. I thought you would like a person.
No, I don't
one in your garage.
My house is being remodeled.
Right back, Jeremy,
Could you see
going to the garage for the light show.
You all be at Hikes Point Lounge at 3 a.m. and I'll go turn on my light show in my garage and FaceTime you guys.
It's 4th and 1 in my living room. Yeah. It's after dinner, fireworks go off. You're this is just my game day.
Yeah.
And it's every day. But yeah,
invite my Mimi over.
I will say, here's what I will say. You went to a horrible tailgate day for there, but the tailgating is different between Kentucky and Louisville. I think Louisville's more it's a party for everyone. If you just show up, you're just included. Oh, yeah. You could just walk around. There, it's
and that's true
it's
because
not as cliquey as Ole Miss, but it's you kind of got to know.
As a Kentucky fan, you've walked into many tailgates around here.
Yes.
And I know at Collision Course, they've always welcomed any fan base.
Yeah.
I know a couple Kentucky fans who regularly come to Louisville games and tailgate there every single time.
Yeah.
And they've always been that way. I had one of Jeremy's childhood friends had responded to my Instagram story or something the other day and was telling me how he was going to come to the Miami game with his boss.
Mm-hmm.
They're Kentucky people. They're Kentucky fans. He said, but my boss got scared because he thought the fans would be mean to him. And
I was
man. I was like, no. I would live for that if fans were mean. I said, people around here, you can walk up to any tailgate around here and they're probably going to hand you a drink.
Mm-hmm.
I said, they are so welcoming. I said, nobody would have been mean to you. I said, of course, every fan base has that small handful of people who are intolerable.
Mm-hmm.
But the majority of people, you can just walk up to a tailgate and start a conversation.
You're making me want to go Saturday
now. If
you
all ever want to come, let me know. And you can just come with us.
Gosh, you're making me want to go Saturday now. Just to tailgate.
You need to.
Maybe I'll go just for the tailgate.
Come on.
See y'all there. That would be so fun.
Bosch will go to Hikes Point Lounge Friday night and just come straight to the tailgate Saturday morning.
Come on.
Set up. We'll walk up to the tailgate at 8:30 in the morning. He's going to be sitting on a table with a beer open.
Yeah.
3 empty ones beside
him. And Chris would be like, I've been up for 6 hours. It's 8:30. This is nothing.
I was at the gym this morning.
I've never seen this hour before. Ever. It's about 4 hours too early.
But yes, it was loud in there for the Georgia game.
I was shocked by that.
I was too.
Mm-hmm.
I was so they were turned all the way up in there that night, and I was so shocked. And your press boxes are nice too.
Oh yeah,
my brother's season tickets are just down from the press boxes.
Man, I miss that press box.
They're nice there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hadn't been in there, and I went to a UK Florida game probably. It's been a long time ago. Yeah. Probably, I don't think Jeremy and I were even married yet.
Oh my gosh.
We've been married for 12 years. So it's been a while.
A few decades.
It's been a while.
Yeah.
And that was the last time I'd been there.
Wow.
And I don't remember.
Yeah, a lot of good has been.
Me and Buffalo Trace were very good friends in the parking lot that day. That tailgate was
this
good.
Is sounding
that tailgate, it's a trend.
Like
okay,
a Chrissy,
If you ever see me walk up to this tailgate with a bottle of bourbon in my hand, unopened
don't look
bottle,
her in the eye. Don't look her in the eye.
No, take it from me. Share it with me. Look, I have
her mom's gonna come pick her up.
My mom would. Yeah,
she had to. What an angel.
I love that. They came back and got my car that same night too.
Oh my gosh. Parents of the year.
I know.
I love that.
No. Actually, that was my mom and my Mimi, and I'm lucky my Mimi was sober enough to.
Oh my God. Mimi saving the day.
Yeah.
Okay, but your expectations have changed for UK UVL football.
Yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting Kentucky's defense to be so good.
Yeah, nor was I. I was hoping.
I hate it.
But then last year,
But I really think Braum is so salty about last year that he's going to have him ready.
Oh, what was your first guess of why it was salty? Was he bringing it up in a press conference or something?
I still think Louisville wins that game.
Do you?
But I think it's going to be a tougher win to get than I initially expected.
Yeah. Even last year, I think I had, some doubt. I still picked UK last year. I knew, maybe it wasn't the most popular pick, but this year I was like, definitely it's probably Louisville's year. But after seeing what Kentucky did to that Ole Miss offense, and Louisville's offense isn't bad, but it's not, the high octane calling card that I think a lot of people were nervous about on the Kentucky side of things when Braum was hired, right? It's not there yet. Great quarterback, though. They're getting there. I don't know. I still feel good. Anything can happen, but I still feel a lot better about Kentucky in that game than I did at the start of this season. But we'll see how, this weekend plays out. You got Ole Miss and South Carolina. Who's to say Ole Miss offense isn't a fraud? I don't think it is. That quarterback's been there 3 years. We've seen what they could do. But, perhaps maybe even the Georgia game, playing them within 1 point, isn't going to look as good by the end of the season. But the past 2 weeks have shown some really good stuff and inspired some confidence in me about that team that, oh my gosh, after South Carolina, I'm like, I don't even want to watch another down again. I didn't even watch like the first quarter of the Ole Miss game because I was like, I got stuff to do. Listen, they're probably going to get massacred and pulling it out.
Behal, do you have a mic back there? Okay, that's okay. We got to talk about the Ole Miss game and why I may have to pull in Ethan Moore for the UK U of L game.
What do you mean by that? Oh, you can't watch?
Ethan Moore doesn't watch. And I may not be able to watch that game this year because a group of us, Behal included, went to Saints to watch the UK Ole Miss game last week.
Oh, you are the bad luck. Good luck for Kentucky. Bad luck for you.
Yep. That's the problem right there.
Keep her around.
Yeah. So I was watching the game. Kentucky's up. The girls there decided we wanted coffee. So we were walking down the street to get coffee. As soon as I get ready to walk out, Ole Miss catches a 50-yard touchdown pass. I come back. I came back and Brian's like, it's you. I'm like, it's not me. That's so silly. It's not me. It's not me. So toward the end of the game, I needed to go get Amelia from my mom's house. We're going to a birthday party after the game.
Yeah.
Well, everybody that was there wanted to see Amelia. They hadn't seen her in a long time. So I was like, okay,
maybe hear a bad word or two.
Yeah, I have a little bit of time. I'll go back up there. It's just down the road. I'll go back up there so everybody can see Amelia. So I get back. And Kentucky wins the freaking game. I'm like, are you kidding me?
You around. You've been hanging around me too long.
I swear.
Some juju rubbed off on you.
So I don't think I can watch the UKUL game.
Maybe it'll just follow you, though. If there's a TV on anywhere near. I'm just saying. Maybe you should go in person and really seal the deal. For the Cats, baby. You thought you were going to turn me into a Cards fan somehow. I think we see the real baptism happening here. Who's been to you've been to more Kentucky games than me this season.
But is it a baptism if I grew up in it?
And that's the thing she never wanted y'all to know. But yeah.
Okay, I didn't. But Anna called me out on air one day. We're live on air doing roundtable. And she's like, oh, hey, by the way, did you all know this about Chrissy? And I can't stop her at that point. There's no delay. Yeah. Can't edit it out.
I said, listen, 1, 2, 3, let's
talk about
our deepest, darkest secrets. And I was like, Chrissy was born a UK fan. Born one. Raised one. It's okay. You had a little rebellious stage. But it feels good to get back to your roots. The Lord is calling you home, girl. He said, I'm going to win if you watch.
I don't even look good in blue.
If you watch. Yes, you do. You do. Everyone does.
I know I do.
I know I look good in blue. Whatever.
Bill's blue. I look good in Buffalo blue.
You do.
Can't help it.
It is what it is.
So, not UK or U of L, but the SEC has become an interesting conference to me because you kind of looked at it and you had these front runners for the playoffs in Alabama and Georgia, and then they play each other last weekend, and Alabama starts blowing Georgia out of the water. Then you have this complete turnaround in the second half where Georgia comes back in that game and almost comes away with a win, which is so interesting to me because now you're looking at Georgia as were they exposed on a certain level, or did they prove themselves on a certain level by coming back from such a deficit that they created in the first half?
It can be a mixture of
two things can be true.
Both, right? I think just problems were highlighted that have been there even a little bit last year, especially with that offense under Mike Bobo. You could get off to some slow starts, some questionable play calling. I think even the numbers Carson Beck put up last season, there's not utmost confidence in him. I don't think he's an elite quarterback there. I think he does a great job, but this isn't the Georgia that we've seen the past few seasons. They just don't have the same type of dominance. But it said a lot. I think it says a lot about Kirby, more about Kirby and his coaching style and how you're not just going to lay down and quit. He coached his way right back into that game, and I loved some of his comments after, just in the locker room to his own team. Not disappointed at all in that loss. Proud of how they came back, and that's just his whole style and the way he instills confidence in his guys. But showed me so much about Kalen DeBoer and how he is standing 10 toes down at Alabama and not skipping a dang beat. That's got to be, man, it takes a man with a lot of confidence to take that job after Nick Saban. And I even miss a beat, it seems.
I've had that conversation with several people. Like, imagine stepping into those shoes, knowing you have to immediately and then consistently be successful.
And it helps that, they have Jalen Milroe still. I mean, you have the same quarterback.
You do, but you're not talking about a fan base that's going to be like, okay, well, he's in year 1 or year 2. No.
There was already that viral reaction. And what was the USF game where there was a person in the scene's like, figure it out. I was like, God, me every Saturday looking at Kentucky's offense. Figure it out. Oh, man. But has he? I mean, his coaching rise has been crazy. But I think, it showed a lot about Georgia and maybe even how to classify the game, how close Kentucky played them, right? Still put up a lot of points. Kentucky held them to less points than that. But I think it's that time of the season where really a lot of clarity is happening. And just are your wins, how good of wins are they really? And I'm so excited to see that about Ole Miss. Let's see what they do this weekend. So big win either way, but how much does it really say about this Kentucky team to have gone down to Oxford and beat them?
Yeah. And you'll find out they've got a bye week this week. They'll come back October 12th. They've got Vandy for homecoming.
Yep. Strebel will be at that game trying to turn, Kellen, his oldest son, he is a Cats fan. The younger one, Wyatt, he's a Cards fan. So we're trying to, initiate him into the BBN gang. Come on.
Good luck.
She's halfway there.
Louisville, not on a bye this week. They will face off against the quote-unquote dark horse, the ACC.
The Dark Ponies, pony up.
Dark Ponies, SMU. That's going to be a noon kickoff this Saturday. Anna, we will see you at the tailgate.
I want to be there.
Bright and early.
I think I got to do it.
Bosch will throw you a beer from across the parking lot.
We just practiced. I just caught it. Got it.
That was good, guys.
Touchdown.
That was really good.
Touchdown.
Extra
point.
We'll get you in some red on Saturday. Maybe get you into the game.
But
cheer on the Cards.
Could. Cheer on the Stangs.
All right, guys. Well, I think that wraps up this week. We will see you all back in 2 weeks where we will know more about Kentucky and Louisville football, as well as who wins these WNBA playoffs.
I love it. Let's see.
Well, we'll see you guys later.